we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11, the government undertaking 5 treaty signings that are expected to empower Bahamian creators, innovators, and entrepreneurs as it relates to the Bahamas' intellectual property framework. Also, the 5 men arrested for that nearly $7 million drug bust arraigned in a magistrate's court today to face a myriad of charges. And a touching homegoing service for the late Rodney Munker, a former senator, activist, and renowned radio talk show host whom the Prime Minister called a man of conviction. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. The Davis administration signing 5 critical international treaties under the World Intellectual Property Organization that seek to upgrade the country's intellectual property framework. According to the Attorney General's office, this bold and proactive step reflects the administration's commitment to empowering Bahamian creators, innovators, and entrepreneurs by modernizing the country's intellectual property landscape. Altavis Munnins leads us off at 11 tonight with the breakdown.
Royston, these treaties mark the revitalization of the Bahamas' intellectual property office called BAIPO. It's a service dormant for more than 50 years. Here's a list of the 5 treaties signed. The Budapest Treaty, which represents the international recognition of the deposit of microorganisms for the purposes of patent procedure. This treaty is an international agreement that makes it easier to get patents for inventions involving microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, or viruses. The Nice Agreement represents the international classification of goods and services for the purposes of the registration of marks. More specifically, if someone is registering a trademark for a clothing brand, that would go into one class. If someone else is registering a trademark for restaurant services, that goes into a different class. The Vienna Agreement establishes an international classification of the figurative elements of marks. And that means this agreement helps trademark offices across countries speak the same language when it comes to classifying logos and images in trademarks, making it easier to protect and search for visual marks globally. The Trademark Law Treaty will be standardizing and streamlining national and regional trademark registration procedures. In short, the TLT helps ensure that national and regional trademark offices follow the same basic procedures, making it easier and faster for businesses to register and protect their trademarks across multiple countries. The Singapore Treaty creates a modern and dynamic international framework for the harmonization of administrative trademark registration procedures. Basically, this treaty makes it easier, faster, and more consistent for people and businesses to protect their brands internationally. And there are 5 more IP treaties to be signed in the coming months: the Patent Cooperation, WIPO Copyright, WIPO Performances and Phonograms Treaties, the Hague Agreement, and the Rome Convention. Now, Royston, the Davis administration's goal is to position the BAIPO office as the Caribbean's gold standard for intellectual property administration and to be fully aligned with the subsidiary legislation governing trademarks, patents, copyrights, and industrial designs as executed by the Attorney General. Royston, back to you.
Important steps for the entire framework. Thanks, Altavis. Bahamians are spending more money with China these days, according to Chinese Ambassador Yan Jiarong. She invited the press to the Chinese embassy today, where she revealed that in 2024 alone, the Bahamas imported $1.27 billion worth of goods from China. That's a year-on-year increase of 158%. America is still the Bahamas' largest trading partner, with more than 85% of our goods coming from our northern neighbor, to the tune of more than $3 billion. As the Bahamas continues to diversify its sources of trade, Ambassador Yang says China offers quality products at affordable prices, and she's seeing the increase of Chinese goods coming into the country, everything from household goods to electric vehicles.
And personally, I'm not surprised by this increase, because, you know, China has become, as I said, the largest trading partner for over 140 countries in the world. And the total goods trade has ranked first in the world for the past 7 consecutive years. So China has been ranked the first in terms of goods trade in the world for consecutive 7 years. And Chinese products are of high quality and low price. and welcomed by people in various countries. And China ranks first in the world in terms of output for more than 40% of the world's 500 major industrial products.
This month, the fourth ministerial meeting of the China CELAC Forum was held in Beijing with Ministers Michael Darville and Alfred Sears leading the Bahamian delegation. There, it was revealed that the trade volume between China and Latin American countries reached a historic $518.4 billion. Now, China has also given back to its trading partners in the Bahamas. The National Stadium was a gift to the Bahamas from China. Renovations are currently underway as a joint country project. And at the end of it, Ambassador Yan said there will be an announcement of another substantial gift to the Bahamas. She also gave an update on plans for the building of a new hospital in New Providence.
The Chinese government is now in the final stage of internal approval for the preferential loans to help Bahamas to build a new hospital in Nassau. So we will provide, definitely, we will provide this professional or concessional loans to build this hospital. And, I think the final amount will be released once we, have gone through the internal approval stage and sign, in the end, this, I think it's a government framework agreement between our two governments.
The World Health Organization has formally adopted the world's first pandemic agreement in Geneva, Switzerland today. The landmark decision culminates more than 3 years of extensive negotiations launched by governments in response to the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Michael Darville, is leading the Bahamian delegation at the World Health Assembly. In an address, he detailed national initiatives to promote healthier lifestyles and ensure equal access to health care among residents.
We are fighting back against the increased incidence of chronic non-communicable diseases with evidence-based programs. We presented to our Parliament our Public Health and Wellness Bill, which, when enacted, will provide the glue necessary to promote healthy lifestyles and prevent premature death. We are concerned about the increased incidence of suicide and violence among our young people and have implemented a national comprehensive patient-centered mental health program to address post-traumatic stress disorders, emotional trauma brought on by climate migration and other natural disasters.
Minister Darville assured the Assembly that the Bahamas continues to support the WHO in its reform agenda.
As these are challenging times, the Bahamas stand firmly behind WHO. We believe reform is important and responsible financial stewardship is essential going forward. But we must never lose sight of the mission that unites us. WHO's commitment to the highest attainable standards for health for all is something worth seeking after, and it deserves our support. Together, we are stronger, and as we work together, we can create a more resilient WHO for the future.
From the courts, 5 men appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley to face the charges of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, importation of dangerous drugs, and conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. This is in connection with that major drug bust near Albert Town, Long Key last week, Wednesday. Police allegedly accosted the men and found in possession 65 bags of narcotics, 54 containing marijuana, and 12 containing cocaine. The drugs were allegedly being offloaded from a yacht and onto a truck at the time of the arrest. The men all pled not guilty to the charges. The prosecution objected to bail based on the quantity of drugs involved, valued at some $6.8 million. However, only one of them was remanded without bail. The other 4 were released on $25,000 bail. Among the requirements, land papers had to be produced for bond. They are all subject to electronic monitoring. Their case begins September 28th. The visit of 2 American visitors here marred by an overnight crime. Police report that sometime after midnight, 2 U.S. nationals were walking back to their rental car in a parking lot near Potters Key Dock when an armed man approached them and demanded cash. The visitors complied and were robbed of cash and other personal items. Police say the gunman then fled in an unknown direction. An investigation into this matter is underway. Still to come, a former Prime Minister wins an award. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Hey, honey. You got no message for me yet? Can I tell you why I get no money? At least not yet. I get my money. Managers. Oh, I done upload it.
Hello, Miss Daisy. Your check is ready.
Thanks. I got it. I come for that little thing. You got it?
Money managers, responsible lenders for responsible people.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
As summer fast approaches, many young people are going to find themselves with a lot of free time and in need of something to do. Well, the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Culture is gearing up to launch its youth summer program in the coming weeks to provide economic opportunity for young people who will get real work experience and hone their skills. Minister Mario Boleg shared plans for the program.
Well, the Department of Culture and Department of Sports and Youth also have the summer programs where we also hire young persons that's coming home from college and place them in the corporate world. Also utilize them in the various departments that where we also find the younger kids who just still got more time in school that we can get them involved in summer programs. So that is which next on our agenda.
The minister also shared plans to ensure the initiative impacts youngsters well beyond New Providence.
Yeah, around, and it's not just here in New Providence, but also in Grand Bahama, and we also seeking now to hopefully in the next budget year to move some of these programs in the Family Islands, but tweak it to meet the needs of those in the Family Islands.
The men's branch of the Progressive Liberal Party honored former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, with the Golden Hand Award this past Sunday night. Christie was initially elected as Prime Minister in 2002 and left frontline politics in 2017 after 2 non-consecutive terms as the nation's leader. His administration is credited with the first significant push to implement national health insurance, the urban renewal program, and playing a pivotal role in opening the multi-million-dollar Bahama resort. In his acceptance remarks, former Prime Minister Christie thanked those who worked alongside him.
When leaders get an award, it really reflects the extent to which he had a team supporting him. And so I, on this occasion, express my gratitude to those who served with me and who contributed magnificently to our cause.
Scores of friends and colleagues packed St. Joseph Catholic Church on Boyd Road last night to pay tribute and reflect on the life and legacy of former parliamentarian and activist Rodney Munker, a man the Prime Minister called a protector, warrior, and someone of conviction. Our Desmond Saunders was there.
Monday's memorial filled with solemn hymns and reflective prayers. The 68-year-old former senator, social activist, and well-known broadcast personality, Rodney Munker, died peacefully at the Princess Margaret Hospital Friday, May 2nd.
And the day before he died, he was communicating with me, and there was no indication that that day would be the day. But I want us all to reflect seriously that we have to know why we are doing what we are doing, or else we are wasting our time.
He was the only person who could go into a school and take the children out before lunchtime and carry them down Bay Street. The scripture says in Psalm 90 and 12, we live our life as a tale that is told.
The memorial service also filled with towering tributes. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis chronicling Moncur's deep commitment to the public service over the years. He added that Moncur's life stands as a true testament of selfless service to the Bahamian people.
In 1974, he joined the Honorable Edmund Moxey in a march to Parliament, speaking out against the exploitation of everyday Bahamians. That moment lit a fire in him that never went out. Rod did not choose the quiet path. He chose to make noise, and he made it for decades. He marched in 1976 against judicial corruption. In 1978, for the vendors pushed off Woods Rogers Wharf. In 1980, for family islanders fighting a broken local government system. In 1981, to stop a bus fare hike.
Former Prime Ministers the Right Honorable Perry Christie and the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram noted how Moncur's life impacted thousands of Bahamians.
He was very popular and he was very influential. Very influential, and he has influenced many, many things in society. I've often told him that sometimes for ill, but he had that ability to cause people to accept what he said and to believe in him.
You've heard that he has impacted our country significantly. You've heard of him as a community activist, a great promoter of Black Village, lifting it up to national prominence in our country and the people who live therein. A great promoter of the causes he believed in.
Close friends and colleagues remembering the late Bahamian as a valiant warrior and people's champion. Thousands expected to bid their final farewell during Rodney Moncur's state-recognized funeral service this Thursday at St. Francis Xavier Cathedral on West Street. Desmond Saunders, the Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks very much, Desmond. Michelle Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Michelle?
And legendary horse trainer Larry Demerit passes away. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this brings great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community, also help with the education of our kids in this community, and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Striping, a Bahamian company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. We start off this evening's sportscast on a somber note as the Bahamian community and the world at large is mourning the passing of legendary horse trainer Larry Demerit. His story of resilience and beating the odds catapulted to the national spotlight last year when he not only became the first Caribbean trainer, but just the second Black trainer since 1981 to saddle a horse in the prestigious Kentucky Derby, all while battling cancer for nearly 3 decades. Our intern Swanson Gibson Jr. caught up with a few of his loved ones who spoke about his legacy.
His name will forever be etched in the Bahamian history books for being a trailblazer in the sport of horse racing and putting the Bahamas to the forefront of the international spotlight. Larry DeMeritt moved to the U.S. in 1976 in hopes of accomplishing his biggest dream of saddling a horse in the Kentucky Derby. In 2024, in the 150th edition of the event, his horse West Saratoga would make that dream a reality. Getting there was certainly an uphill climb, as DeMeritt battled against a grim medical prognosis after being diagnosed with cancer in 1996. After purchasing West Saratoga for $11,000, DeMeritt and his colt would do what would seem to be impossible and break down barriers in the process. DeMeritt became the first Bahamian and just second black trainer in over 3 decades to saddle a horse in the Derby.
My brother was a very loving, giving, compassionate person. I can go through many a story illustrating that fact. In the early, mid-80s, we started this tradition. We went to Kentucky every summer. And when we reached in Kentucky, Larry wouldn't allow us to do anything. We would go into Sam's and the grocery bill would be close to $1,000. And back then, that's more than plenty money. Anything that we needed, he was all about family. You know, we all grew up together in my grandmother's house. And she always taught us, if you have one slice of bread, you have to share it with everybody. Make sure everybody get a bite of that bread. So he embodied all the things that Mama taught us and more.
A proud Bahamian who would wear both his heart and his country on his sleeve.
But we were elated when he realized his dream as being a part of the Derby. We were so happy for him, so much so that more than 20 of us went up there to support him. While Larry was in Kentucky, he made many friends. Anybody who he knew or ran into, and they had many Bahamian roots, so he gravitated to them. He invited them to his home, you know, to break bread and just to be a friend and to check on them to make sure that they were doing well.
And his cousin, Roger DeMeritt, spoke on what he wants the world to remember most.
And I would want people to remember him mostly by how he lived his life. He believed that the most worthwhile life is one lived rendering services to those in need. That because of him and people like him, our country and the world will be left with an abundance of life and love, because he chose to make his earthly existence a ministry of esteeming others above himself.
Larry DeMeritt was survived by his wife Inga and his son Larry Jr. He was 75 years old. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
Switching gears, the University of the Bahamas Mingo is hosting their inaugural Golf Classic, teeing off at the Royal Blue Golf Course over the weekend. Mingo staff hoping the event can be a long-running one that boasts great dividends for the program.
Well, you know, we're very honored to host the first. We hope it will be an annual golf invitational. Its primary purpose is twofold. We want to raise funds for our golf program, and it's really to, you know, say to persons that we do have a growing golf program, one that we're looking that would develop rapidly over the next 2-3 years. So it's just a matter of reaching out to the golfing community, alumni, faculty, staff, and we're very, very pleased with the turnout and the response that we've gotten in this inaugural event.
Also in attendance was Craig Flowers, noted businessman and developer of the Oaksfield Golf Academy, where the Mingos train. He says the program has certainly come a long way.
The UV started its training of its Mingos program at my facility. Oh, well, at the facility I built. I don't like calling it my facility. It's for the kids. I did it for the development of golf. But the Mingos has so many brilliant, talented young men on it that certainly is now coming to fruition. Their instructor, their program has been nothing short of amazing. I'm pleased, I'm delighted to have them there at our facility.
And more from Balmar announcing a partnership with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture for the promotion of several upcoming events and initiatives concerning racket-based sports, i.e. tennis, pickleball, and paddle, all centered around the recently launched John McEnroe Tennis Center. Now, with pickleball being the fastest rising sport in the world, the resort expounding on its pickleball-related programming to capitalize on this phenomenon.
it is the fastest emerging sport, and yes, of course, we want to see all sports, especially what Bahamians partake in, make it to the Olympic Games. Of course, they're World Games, and they've been having some success. Like we get to feature Justin Thompson, who has won some tournaments in the U.S., traveled to Cayman, and they're at Kevon Ferguson. So they have athletes, and they're all tennis players, but they're doing both. And it's great to see that they can travel internationally and even make it further probably than where they made it in tennis and do well. So I'm all for the support, and us having the facility here, we want to offer where they can come here and train. And like, you'll meet MJ, I think next week he's playing in the Spring Cup. He's been here training. I think he's done some Instagram posts, but he's also willing to do a give back clinic here at Bahamas.
Let's look at your sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new room?
And dreams become your life.
This is retirement.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royson. Dry conditions once again tonight, but that area of high pressure that has been producing these stable and warm conditions will gradually slide towards the east, and that will pave the way for a frontal boundary to the north to drop just to the north of Grand Bahama and Abaco, and that could trigger some showers in the extreme northwestern Bahamas over the next couple of days. However, the remainder of the 700 islands will continue to remain under dry and stable conditions. Now, your temperatures around the islands this evening: Marshall, Abaco, Green Toll, Key, and Freeport, Grand Bahama at 80 degrees, 81 in the Berry Islands. Alistown, Bimini, 82 degrees, 80 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Andos. Owen, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 79 degrees. Otterstown, Cadallas, 79 degrees. 79 also in San Salvador and Rumkey. Georgetown, Exuma, 80 degrees there. 79 again in Ragged Island. Clarkstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Ackless reporting 78. Matchitown and Nagua, that's the warm spot this evening at 82 degrees. The Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. Your forecast tonight, we are looking at clear to partly cloudy skies, temperature around 75 degrees. And tomorrow, another beautiful day shaping up, mostly sunny and pleasant. High temperature climbing up to 88 degrees. And your temperature trend will open the morning up at around 77 degrees. And you'll see that gradual climb taking place. That 88 will happen sometime around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now, your extended weather forecast, as you can see, beautiful weather conditions right through the early part of next week. Those temperatures remaining well above average for this time of the year. 86.4 degrees is the average for the month of May. And as you can see, tomorrow we're looking at 88 degrees, 89 on Thursday. And then we start picking up some 90s, 92 degrees on Sunday, and that will hold right through Monday. And then when you factor in the relative humidity and that, the heat index, yeah, they're going to be around 105 degrees. So very hot days are shaping up for us. So once again, we remind you to continue to remain hydrated. Bryce?
It feels like an early summer. Thanks, Basil. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching. Good night.
At Tonic Williams Darling Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.